Costello, followed by Anthony Tolden.
Hi. I want to thank all of you so much for actually being here today and for being willing to listen. I think you're actually the second governmental body that's been willing to listen, because Maui County is also paying attention to this issue, and I'm glad New York is now too. We have a very serious situation on our hands, and as you can see, there's a large number of people in this community that were willing to take time off from their jobs and whatever their life is today to be here so that they can communicate with all of you about how much terror we are experiencing with respect to what the United States government and the military are doing to this population. It's not just in the United States. This is a worldwide geoengineering chemtrail operation, and there are indeed toxic neurochemicals being dumped into our atmosphere, which are falling into our soil, into our bodies of water, into our food supply, and into our bodies, and into the bodies of our children, and the bodies of our animals, and the bodies of every living thing on our planet. This is not the only issue. If we look at chemtrails as part of a larger biological warfare that is going on our planet right now, we have genetically modified foods being fed to our population. We have toxic vaccines that are also filled with aluminum and mercury being injected into our children, being injected into infants. We have nuclear radiation that is pouring into our atmosphere. And now we have the government flying through our skies, spraying everybody across the planet, except for the areas that they have decided are deemed unworthy. This is an incredibly powerful opportunity for us to look at the United States government and say, wow, this government just decided that it can arrest any one of its citizens, put them in jail indefinitely without trial.
The plan.
All right, we have a serious, deadly situation on our hands in terms of what the United States government is now doing. And if we do not act at the local level, then we are complying and complicit with this destruction of our planet and of all living things on it. We have got to step up, every single one of us, and say, enough. We don't want to give this government power anymore. The United States government is a government run amok. And if you guys...
You're here!
And you all live here, right? You all live in the United States. How could you not be seeing this? How could you not look up in the sky and see these people spraying things in the sky that expand and cover our sky with toxic clouds? How can you not see this? Do you walk around and look at the ground all the time? You have got to open your eyes and look. You have got to see the larger picture of what is happening. It is urgently necessary for everyone to wake up and look. So please, please act from the local level. And we say, we're going to take it on. We are New Yorkers. We are freaking powerful people. And we don't take shit from the United States government or from any governmental body that would choose to treat us like we are roaches. We are not roaches. We are human beings. And we have a right to live. We have a right to eat clean food. We have a right to drink water that doesn't contain 8,700 parts per billion of aluminum. That's here in Suffolk County, folks. Okay? Pay attention, because this is going into our bodies, and this is going into our children, and into everything that we love. Please.
Beautiful.
Excuse me, followed by who?
Pauline Cantwell. Pauline's in the audience. Maybe you can make your way to the center aisle.
Hello.
My name is Anthony Tolda, that's T-O-L-D like dollar, A like America. I'm a Republican candidate for Congress to represent District 2 on Long Island, and this is an issue I've done a lot of research on. I would just like to respectfully request you think about your families, your friends. This is not a Republican issue, this is not a Democrat issue. This is an issue of the general welfare of the American people. We had an 85-year-old woman strip searched by the TSA at JFK Airport last week.
It's ridiculous.
We have no idea who is spraying us, with what. We have an idea with what, but we don't have any idea really who is flying these planes. And the average law-abiding citizen can't even get on a plane without being harassed. This is insanity. The science behind the argument is sound. Anybody with a functioning set of eyes, critical thinking process, that has spent any significant amount of time reviewing this evidence could see it as sound. And it's clearly the will of the people that's educated on this matter that an end is put to this. Please give us a unanimous decision to pass this bill so that we can show the world that America's taking freedom back and we're not going to be sprayed like a bunch of bugs. I know there's a lot of other speakers, so I would like the rest of the time to be reserved for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pauline, followed by Greg Fisher.
Hello, I'm Pauline Cantwell from Greenwich, Connecticut, and I came out today because I have been concerned about this issue for many years. I have worked at the UN since '94, leading a peace caucus there, and getting involved in the weaponization of weather as a weapon, and got interested in the geoengineering issue, which has been covered by the UN for a long time. In fact, they passed a convention banning the hostile manipulation of weather in 1978. I have 5 grandchildren on Long Island and children living here. I'm concerned about their health. I'm concerned about the health of people all over the world. I started doing a radio show in Greenwich, Memorial Day of last year. My theme song is Blue Skies by Willie Nelson. And I want my blue skies back. I want to wake up and see the blue skies when I get up, and I want to see them when I see the sunset at night. I'm tired of seeing the desert sunsets in Greenwich, Connecticut. We shouldn't be having bright red sunsets in Greenwich. I was in Texas early November. I met with George Romar, who heads up the weather modification program there. I had him on my radio show November 15th. November 22nd, I talked about some of it on November 15th. Those shows are archived at www.wgch.com. We talked about a program in Mexico by a Russian weather modification company, ELOT Technologies, doing ionization of weather, doing rain enhancement and precipitation denial. We talked about a military corporation, Sky Blue, who came to Texas and got a permit. They said they were former military. They got a permit to alter the weather using laser technology. And then they disappeared this year. They can't be found. And the only thing we can find is Sky Blue, which is a space technology corporation in Colorado. I went to the Bonn conference in Germany and distributed Rosalind Peterson's flyers. I have Rosalind Peterson, California Skywatch, on my show almost every week. And I distributed these geoengineering flyers. Octopus on one side strangling the earth, and the scientist on the other side saying, just trust us, we're going to put all these chemicals up, and it's going to be okay. And it shows the CARE rocket, C-A-R-E, Charged Aerosol Release Experiment. That rocket went over my house in Greenwich, September 9th, 2 years ago, September 19th. My next door neighbor thought it was a UFO. It was spraying aluminum oxide and was seen by a cruise ship. Maybe some of you saw it go over your house. It was launched from Wallow Island, Virginia, to create NASA-lucent clouds. These are being done deliberately. I was taken out of the conference, told I couldn't distribute this flyer anymore. It wasn't authorized. And then I was told the next day it was a case of mistaken identity. There was no case of mistaken identity because I brought Roswell on as the keynote speaker in '07 at the Climate Change Conference, and we did a program on geoengineering, weather warfare, and all these issues, and they know what I'm talking about, and they didn't want it discussed. So I applaud all the people here. I am so impressed. I have been a lone person in the wilderness at these conferences, and I am really impressed by people's knowledge and their concern. There is a history of military spraying diseases on people. You can check out the book Clouds of Secrecy by Leonard Cole about programs they did in the 70s. It's not new. And this stuff is going on all over the world. When I was in Germany, we went to Zugspitze, the highest point in Germany, and I videotaped planes spraying jet contrails. I call them jet contrails that create persistent jet contrails that create clouds.
Chemtrails.
Because the Air Force calls chemtrails a conspiracy. And I don't want to get put in the camp of conspiracy because I deal in facts. When I do a speech, I want to make sure that my facts are right. So thank you so much. And I have a letter that lists a lot of the things I'm concerned about, and want to congratulate you for what you're doing, and I hope you do carry it further. And I hope we can spread this into Connecticut, into Texas, into all of the United States, and get awareness of what's really being done. Thank you.
Greg Fisher, followed by James here.
Hi, I'm Greg Fisher. I'm here in my role as a director for Americans for Legal Reform. My point is really short. I'm going to put a material safety data sheet into the record for aluminum oxide.